This person asked if the Medicaid cuts are official, and that's a great question and a perfect excuse to explain reconciliation, or why Republicans keep saying that there's no mention of Medicaid in their budget bill while everyone else says that they're making cuts to it. I brought out the whiteboard, but it's gonna be real simple. Trust me when I say that this is worth knowing, because you're gonna start wising up to how you're being lied to. First thing to remember is that Congress passes laws and budgets. They have the power of the purse. They're made up of the Senate and the House. In order for something to be passed, it has to pass both chambers, and then it gets signed into law. The Senate, which is made up of 100 senators, 2 from each state, has a very special rule called the filibuster rule, which makes it a lot harder to get things passed in the Senate. It says that even though you can pass a bill with a simple majority, you need at least 60 votes to end debate on that bill and move on to a vote. Which basically means that even if you're in the minority party, but you have more than 40 votes, you can actually stop a bill from being voted on in the first place by extending debate. It's a very effective way of obstructing things when you're the minority party. However, there are exceptions to this filibuster rule, one of which is a budget resolution and reconciliation. So what a budget resolution bill does, rather than being an entire budget with all the details already laid out that needs 60 votes in the Senate to get past debate and then get voted on, is that it basically sets an outline for the budget with goals for each committee. A budget resolution cannot be filibustered, so all you need is one vote with a simple majority. And then each committee goes and works on like a mini budget covering the stuff that they're in charge of, that meets the goals or requirements set by the resolution bill. Then all those mini budget proposals are compiled into one giant reconciliation bill. A reconciliation bill is also not able to be filibustered. So once again, you just need a simple majority. So basically, this is a way for Republicans to pass a whole budget without needing a single vote from Democrats in the House or the Senate, which means they can do whatever they want. So right now, the House has passed the budget resolution, which basically gives the outline or the goals for each committee. So why is everyone saying that they're making cuts to Medicaid? And why are Republicans saying that Medicaid is never mentioned? Both are actually true. We can figure this out with simple math and logic. The House Committee on Energy and Commerce is in charge of Medicaid, Medicare, and a few little other things. Let's say this is their budget. Their budget is about 2/3 Medicare and almost 1/3 Medicaid. They also have a sliver about this big that's a bunch of other stuff. Let's use some easy to understand but made up numbers, okay? Let's say that this whole pie is $10. That would make Medicare about $6 total. Medicaid about $3 total. Everything else about $1 total. To be clear, the ratio for this is actually a lot less than 1/10. And for the record, this also includes important health stuff, including the Children's Health Insurance Program. Remember, their goal is to extend the tax cuts that they passed in 2017, which already added trillions of dollars to our debt and will add trillions more. So rather than rolling back those tax cuts and taxing billionaires a cent more, they're trying to cut everywhere they can. And I'm all for budget efficiency, but we have yet to see an example of that from Republicans. What they did is that they told this committee that it has to cut $2 from its budget. But there's an obvious issue, right? Where are you gonna cut $2 from? Even if they were gonna start with everything else, right? This whole piece of the pie, including Children's Health Insurance Program. All that nets them is $1 in savings. So they still have to find another dollar somewhere in here. So take your pick. Are they cutting from Medicare or Medicaid? Because it's gonna be one of them. When Republicans say that Medicaid isn't even mentioned in their budget bill, they're telling the truth. They're just banking on you not understanding how this works.